Hello friends. Two AI models launch one day apart this month, and the benchmark numbers they posted do not agree. On August 12, 2026, SpaceXAI released Grok 4.6. Then, just one day later on August 13, Google released Gemini 3.7 Flash. Both teams published scores, both teams claimed wins, but here is the problem. On some benchmarks, Flash looks like the leader. On others, Grok pulls ahead. So which one is actually better? That depends entirely on what you are measuring. In this video, we are going to break down the benchmarks side by side and explain exactly what each number means. We will also give you a simple framework so you can decide which model fits your work. To understand which number to trust, we first need to know what a benchmark actually is. Think of a benchmark like a standardized test. Every student answers the same questions and gets scored the same way. An LLM benchmark works exactly the same way. LLM stands for Large Language Model, which is an AI trained on huge amounts of text. The benchmark gives every model the same set of tasks and scores them by the same rule. The score you see is the result. But here is the catch. Different benchmarks test different things. One might focus on writing code. Another tests step-by-step reasoning. Another measures how fast the model replies. A model that tops the coding chart might rank low on speed. No single number tells you everything. You need to know which test was run before the score means anything. With that in mind, let's look at one index that tries to combine 9 different benchmarks into a single number. The Artificial Analysis Intelligence Index is a composite score. Composite means it combines the results of 9 separate benchmarks into one final number. Think of it like a student's overall average grade across all subjects. It is built from many individual results, not just one test. As of this month, Claude Opus 5 leads at 63. Grok 4.6 sits at 61. Gemini 3.7 Flash scores 56. On that composite ranking, Grok 4.6 clearly beats Flash. But now look at speed. Flash ranks first among 186 models tested, hitting 340.1 tokens per second. Grok does not come close on that measure. So the same two models can swap positions depending on what you are measuring. The composite score is not the whole story. Up next, we dig into the specific benchmarks where Flash pulls ahead. Alright, let's look at where Flash actually pulls ahead. Start with raw speed. Flash outputs 340.1 tokens per second, ranking it first out of 186 models tested by artificial analysis. At that rate, the model is generating text faster than most people can read it. For a developer making thousands of API calls, that speed means real time and money saved. Now look at coding. A benchmark called DeepSWE version 1.1 tests how well a model handles long, complex software engineering tasks. Gemini 3.7 Flash scored 65.3% on that test, up from 49.0% for its predecessor, Gemini 3.6 Flash. That is a 16-point jump in just 23 days. But here is the key insight. These wins are task-specific. Being the fastest model or the best coder does not make it the smartest overall. Next, let's talk about what you actually pay for all of this. Now let's talk money, because price changes everything in production. Gemini 3.7 Flash is currently at an introductory rate of 75 cents per million input tokens and $3.75 per million output tokens. That introductory price expires December 31, 2026, after which it rises to $1.50 and $7.50 respectively. Grok 4.6 runs at $2 per million input tokens and $6 per million output tokens. So Flash is meaningfully cheaper right now. But cheaper does not automatically mean better value. That is where cost per intelligence comes in. Cost per intelligence is the practical metric developers actually use. It asks a simple question. How much intelligence are you getting per dollar spent? Grok 4.6 scores 61 on the intelligence index versus Flash at 56, so you pay more but you also get more capability. Knowing that ratio helps you decide. In the final slide, let's turn all of this into a clear decision framework. Alright, let's bring this all together into a practical rule you can actually use. If your work is speed sensitive or involves thousands of coding requests, Gemini 3.7 Flash is the clear pick. It leads all 186 tested models on output speed and posted a strong 65.3% on the DeepSWE benchmark, and its introductory price keeps costs low. If you need raw composite intelligence for complex, multi-step agentic work, Grok 4.6 scores 61 on the Intelligence Index, matching GPT 5.6 Sol, and offers that capability at a notably lower cost per intelligence than its peers. There is one more constraint that can decide it for you instantly: context window size. Grok 4.6 tops out at 500,000 tokens, the smallest among current frontier models. Flash supports 1 million tokens. If your document exceeds that 500,000 limit, the choice is made for you. Match the benchmark to the task, and you will always pick the right tool. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.